Hello and welcome to the Reading Room. In this series of videos, we will examine the arguments given in Richard Dawkins' book, The God Delusion. We will be using the 2006 paperback edition published by Bantam Books, and we will go through it chapter by chapter, examining each and every argument in detail. So let's start with the preface, in which Dawkins explains who he is writing the book for. On the very first page he writes, "There are lots of people out there who have been brought up in some religion or other, are unhappy in it, don't believe it, or are worried about the evils that are done in its name. People who feel vague yearnings to leave their parents' religion and wish they could, but just don't realize that leaving is an option. If you are one of them, this book is for you. It is intended to raise consciousness to the fact that to be an atheist is a realistic aspiration and a brave and splendid one. You can be an atheist who is happy, balanced, moral, and intellectually fulfilled." So according to Dawkins, there are four kinds of potential atheists. People who are unhappy in their religion, those who don't believe in it, those who are worried about the evils done in its name, and those who have vague yearnings to leave their parents' religion. Now let's examine each of these categories in detail. First, people who are unhappy in their religion. Dawkins believes that this is a good enough reason to leave religion altogether. This argument presupposes that religion is supposed to make you happy, and that therefore if it fails to do so, you should leave it. But the more fundamental question is religion supposed to make you happy? How many of his readers who read this statement of his asked this most critical question? Is religion supposed to make you happy? Is that the purpose of religion? Dawkins does not even address this question. So let's look into it. We should ask, where did this idea come from? Did any faith leader claim this? Did the prophets who received divine inspiration proclaim this? In fact, were their own lives devoid of pain and anguish? Imagine Jonah in the belly of the whale. Do you think he was happy there? Or Abraham as he sacrificed his son? Or Noah as he watched his son drown in the flood waters? Or Moses as he saw his people worship the golden calf after he had rescued them from the Pharaoh? So if these great prophets led lives that were full of trials and tribulations, how can we expect our lives to be free of pain and suffering? Perhaps Dawkins would say that these are all just stories that have no basis in fact. But it doesn't really matter, does it? Because the point still stands. This is what we've learnt about the prophets. Religion does not claim that if you believe, even as the prophets believed, that you would live happy lives. Moreover, there is no guarantee that you will be happy even after leaving religion. So why would anyone buy this argument? Let's move on to the second category. Those who don't believe in the religion they subscribe to. To these people also Dawkins gives only one choice: leave religion and become an atheist. This is like telling someone who does not believe in one particular ideology, say capitalism, that they should not believe in any ideology at all. A Christian or a Jew who no longer believes in the articles of Christianity or Judaism is given no option to convert to Islam or Buddhism or whatever other religion that may appear to him to be closer to the truth. He must denounce all religions and adopt atheism. This too is not a rational argument. The third group of potential atheists on Dawkins' list are those who are worried about evils done in the name of religion. As examples of these evils, he cites the WTC terrorist attacks on 9/11, the Crusades, witch hunts, honor killings, etc. If people who are worried about these evils have no better choice than to leave religion, what choice do those of us have who are worried about evils done in the name of nationalism, imperialism, and other such motivations that have nothing to do with religion? Where should we go? What part of our existence can we take exit from? What options are available to those of us who are worried about the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, or about the spraying of Agent Orange over Vietnam, or about the carpet bombing of Cambodia, or about the 2003 invasion and destruction of Iraq based on false claims about WMDs? What can we do in response to our worry about these evils that had nothing to do with religion and everything to do with grabbing resources, crippling third world countries that are striving to become independent of the West, and with installing West friendly political governments in countries around the world? Can we just walk out of the political entities that perpetuate these crimes against humanity? Rather, walk out of all territories and political entities altogether. If Dawkins' advice to believers who are worried about evils done in the name of religion is to not just leave that religion, but leave all religions to become atheist, what advice will he give to those who are worried about the evils done by imperialists? If a Christian who is angry about the Crusades has to become atheist, what must an American angry about the Iraq War become? It is easy to see that this argument is illogical and irrational. The final group is those who feel vague yearnings to leave their parents' religion. The first question is a vague yearning to do something reason enough to do it? For example, if I have vague yearnings to leave my family and run away to go live in a forest, should I just do it? Or should I carefully weigh the pros and cons and make an informed decision? What would be the answer that pops into a scientific and rational mind? Perhaps Dawkins believes that this book will provide the one with vague yearnings sufficient pros to go ahead with it. But then we must ask the same question that we asked for the first and second group. Why not leave your parents' religion for another religion that better answers the prodding questions in your mind? And if you find that none of the religions do so, then you are welcome to reject them all. But why should this be the first rather than the last resort? To conclude, none of the groups of people Dawkins believes to be potential or aspiring atheists are actually so. They are simply people who have yet to start their religious journey. They are people who have not yet questioned the faith they were born into, and questioning your faith is a very healthy thing. Dawkins gives the impression that questioning religious beliefs is considered a taboo in all religions, but this is not the case. It is certainly not the case in Islam, where blind following is strongly discouraged when it comes to principles of religion. In fact, the Holy Quran repeatedly condemns those who adhere to polytheism on the argument that that was the religion of their forefathers. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel to stay informed of future videos wherein we will critically examine the arguments in other chapters of the book, The God Delusion.